I'm just a person and my life is full of opportunity.
Looks like Ellie's in the lead. With one more to go, she wins. No, no, no. No, Moose. Looks like Ellie needs more concentration. Oh, no. It looks like a tough competition.
Yes.
It looks like Baba wins.
क्या बात है?
Baba.
No.
3, 4,
You had 2.
3,
3. Okay, then
3
it's
before.
No, you had 1 before.
How come this is?
Go, Baba.
Oh, are you kidding me?
Go, Baba. Go, Baba. Go,
These are all right.
Go, Baba. Go, Baba. Go, Baba. Go. Ooh! Looks like it.
I win.
Annie, no. I need that question. How does it feel to be the winner?
This feels very good.
You're not Annie. My sister is Annie. You're my father.
Yes, I am her father, and I am father of 3 daughters. I never knew that raising daughters is going to be such a difficult job. I realized that when they are growing up and their needs are changing, it is difficult. I want them to enjoy life. I want them to participate in any activity they want to. But at the same time, I also want that they take part in such a way where they don't have to compromise their modesty, their belief, their religion, their culture. It is a difficult job. There are limits. Yes, we are Muslim. Yes, we are Pakistani. And yes, we have a Pakistani Muslim American culture now. When it's come to sports, or when it's come to partying, and when it's come to do different activities, there are very clear guidelines in Islam that what to do, what not to do. I can see that there is a sense developing in Muslim girls and young women that Islam does not permit any fun for them, which is wrong. Islam allows them all those things, but in a certain environment. And it is very hard to tell them this without providing them such environment. Just saying is not going to buy us anything. We have to plan activities for them, and we must do it now.
As Zafar talks about the challenges of raising girls, I reflect upon my childhood and youth. I was born and raised in Pakistan, a country where women have been prime ministers too.
पाकिस्तान क्रिकेट बोर्ड मुल्क में रांद खे हथी वठाइण जे
When it
सिलसिले
comes
में
to sports,
मुख़्तलिफ़
there are
क़दम
no problems for girls in Pakistan. All girls schools, sports, tournaments, professional national teams of girls and women is a common practice and norm. But in America, it becomes such a big challenge to find all girls activities unless you have big pocket, which I don't. Honestly speaking, it is more important to give priority to our girls in this country than anywhere else. Then why don't our American Muslim leadership understand this, and why do they discriminate between boys and girls? I took this question to Dr. Isam Al-Khwaga, an experienced and established Muslim psychiatrist in Dayton, Ohio.
Actually, there is no difference biologically or psychosocially between men and women, boys and girls, except in very minor differences, which are mainly from the way we express ourselves. In the Quran and Sunnah, there is no evidence, by the way, that men are superior than women or girls are inferior than boys. There is no evidence of that in the Quran, in the Sunnah, in the Islamic history, scientifically, or the research that was done. And I was reading some research and meta-analysis about the differences in personality. Actually, they did not find any major differences in the abilities of boys and girls. So how do we solve this? I think we have to change first our mental set, our thinking process about that there are differences between boys and girls, and we have to stop this paranoia and suspiciousness that our girls will do something wrong, but our boys are secure. We tend to restrict a lot of activities on our girls, and especially in our masajid, because again, quote, we want to protect our girls. It's ironic that we let our girls mix with boys in schools, in the gyms, in activities everywhere, and when it comes to the masjid, we want to separate them from boys. We don't want them to have separate activities, boys and girls. And interestingly, when we want them to get married, We want them to get married to the boys that they don't talk to, and not to get married to the non-Muslim that they talk to outside the masjid. It's a hypocrisy that, or an irony that we see, and we have to look at it, and there is no basis for that. It's a cultural things that we learned a long time ago, and I think we have to reassess these things. And I encourage our leadership, masajid, and in the Islamic communities to look at that, because the girls will be mothers at some point. There is strong evidence that secure mothers result in secure children, and insecure, oppressed mothers result in insecure, oppressed children, and also insecure communities and insecure nations. And we should not shy away from having parties or having social activities or having competitions or having sports for boys and girls, and we should not shy away from having social activities for boys and girls together with the Islamic values that we learn and with the supervision that we need. And without that, I think we will be at risk of losing a generation.
Besides the discrimination between genders, girls also talked about the challenges they face in their public schools. I get Dr. Asma Mubinuddin's insight about the issue. Being the president of CARE Ohio, I know you have been involved in and very active in taking care of the rights and the needs of the Muslim community. And when it comes to Muslim girls, do you hear cases that still people are in trouble and they are being barred from participation in sports activities or any other gym problems that you hear?
In general, the country has gotten more accepting and more, more aware of the need to respect other beliefs and cultures and tolerate things. So that, in general, is the case since when I was young. But then we do also see cases where there have been issues.
What do you think is the better solution for Muslim community?
Well, I think that keeping the most options open is the best for the community, because many girls may want to participate on their junior high or high school teams, and they may feel comfortable participating as long as their modesty requirements are respected and accommodated, and that should be open to them. But on the other hand, we should also, as a Muslim community, offer alternatives for the kids, whether girls or boys, to have these healthy experiences, whether it's through exercise or clubs or other types of just formal, organized sporting teams or things like that. And if you have a Muslim organization which has a girls or boys team, then that immediately can kind of get rid of a lot of the distractions and difficulties that often our youth might have, because it's not going to be a big deal. They don't have to take a stand to wear hijab, or they don't have to go up and really make soul search and make the decision that I'm going to stand up and wear a long tracksuit and stand out in front of my peers. That's hard for some kids and things. So I think if our masajid and the different Islamic organizations can offer that, that is important for the community.
Asma, you are somebody who is born and raised in this country, and in my understanding, you were born in Miami, Florida, and then you were moved in Ohio, and you have been here all your life. Could you please share some of your childhood and youth experiences that as a Muslim girl, what opportunities did you have for participating in sports and other activities?
Sports activities, organized sports activities for Muslim girls by the masajid or Muslim organizations in my lifetime has basically, if you want the truth, has been completely non-existent. I've never had the opportunity for me or my kids, even until very recently, until the last year or two, to enroll them in an organized sports activity for girls. Yasmin has played sports. She has been in community teams, though. She's done soccer, she's played gymnastics, she's done some swimming, she's participated, but more so through the community. She's enrolled in their taekwondo program through Sunrise Academy. So that is really the first opportunity that on a formal organized level through a Muslim organization, the school, that she was able to participate in sports. And that's been great for her. But otherwise, there's been nothing through the masajid that we've been associated with. Just recently, I've heard of a few Muslim community organizations. I think the Columbus Mass chapter is opening a soccer team for girls, and there was some talk at some of the mosques. So I have just recently become aware of people even thinking about this.
I'm just a person, and my life is full of opportunity. But will I choose the path of truth or a path to misguide me? And Allah has given me a choice that's free.